Cole is calling from Maryland. Cole pronouns he, him as a theist. Is of the position that maybe truth is not the most important thing, and it may be worth believing for the sake of community. Hey, Cole, if something is worth believing, even though it's not true, then isn't it true that it's worth believing?
If something is true, can you say that
not
again, please?
true?
Okay. If something is not true, okay, but it's worth believing anyway for the sake of the community, then isn't it true that it is worth believing?
I would say yes.
Cool. Then you should be able to demonstrate that truth. I'm sorry.
Oh dear.
We just got an alert.
I got one a little while ago, and I'm all the way in Philadelphia, so we're all under the cloud right now.
Yeah, we had a tornado warning.
Yeah, this one was a manhunt, but so basically, so you think that truth may not be the most important thing, but if it turns out that whatever is the most important thing, if it's in fact most important, then it is true that it's most important, right?
I agree with that.
Cool. So what's more important than truth then?
Possibly community.
Well, why is community more important than truth?
Because potentially the alternative is despair.
No. So are you saying that community is more important than truth, right?
I am arguing that fact, yes.
Is that fact true?
I do not know.
Okay. Well, if it's not true, should we believe it just because you think it is?
Maybe. I think so.
Okay. That's the problem, Cole. There is no way in hell I'm going to believe something merely because you think it's true, while you also say that you accept something as more important than truth, and you don't know whether the thing you accept more important as truth is true. You're basically saying whatever you're convinced of, the rest of us should believe, whether it's true or not, because you think it's in our best interest. And my answer is, hell no.
Well, I'm only arguing about priority. I'm not arguing about truth.
Why is community more important than truth? And would you join a death cult for community, despite there being no truth to their claims? Because community is that important.
I would not join a death cult. No, I would join potentially. Would
you join a lie cult?
What religion is? Sorry.
Would you join a lie cult?
A liar cult? Can you define that?
A lie cult, a cult based on a lie.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
You would.
That is the situation. I think that the state of atheism is such that it is so isolationist and so separating, whereas religion has a situation, a foundation where our neighbors get together and meet every week and talk about maybe being good people.
And
how many shows do I do a week, and how many conventions with atheists do I do in a year?
I'm not arguing that. I am arguing that is not common.
No. I don't give a shit how common it is. The entire purpose. So you know why religious? Do you know why religious gatherings are more common than atheist gatherings?
Tell me.
Because religions have a protected, privileged status in the Western world. They get tax-exempt status. They force people to give donations of 10 or 20% of their income in order to keep them afloat. They do not have to open their books and demonstrate that they are doing anything in the public good, and they get to maintain that tax-exempt status. They have built a structure where the default assumption is that you are a believer and go to some church. And so by marginalizing atheists, they make it harder for us to build the same sort of community. And despite the fact that they've made it harder, we continue to build communities, humanist communities, skeptic communities, secular communities. I don't need to be a part of a bullshit liars community. I need to be a part of a community that values the truth and people. I'm not willing to sacrifice accuracy for comfort. I'm not willing to worship a fiction and pretend that a bullshit story is real in order to appease my neighbors. I would much rather help my neighbors learn that they shouldn't believe bullshit.
I completely agree with all of that. And
I don't think you do, since it's in direct conflict with you saying you would join a cult of lies.
No, I'm saying that you believe that. I agree with that belief. That is a fine belief to have.
Okay. I'm going to stop now because the last thing I need is somebody telling me they think I genuinely believe what I just fucking said when I was replying to their claim. And when they say, oh, I agree. You are very confused, and it's not going to be good for my Zen to continue attempting to talk to you.
I think you misunderstood me.
Oh, okay. So now it's my fault. I misunderstood you. Thank you so much.
No, it's not your fault.
Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? If I misunderstood, doesn't that make it my fault?
No, it is my fault. I did not explain.
No. If it was your fault, then the phrase would have been, I miscommunicated. I misspoke. I made an error. You didn't say those things. Instead, you said, I misunderstood. I don't know why you're running your mouth at all right now while I'm still talking, but this is not going to go well for you. Guaranteed.
I miscommunicated.
Then you should have said that instead of I misunderstood, right?
That's fine, yes.
Gee, thanks. Continue.
Okay. It is perfectly understandable that you have that priority in your life, but I think that it's possible to have that different priority where you could be in a lie for the sake of community, because it is the state that humanism doesn't have that same level of community in this nation.
Can I ask a question?
Certainly.
Cole, you're a theist, correct?
I don't know.
Okay, because that wasn't really my question. My question was going to be, what lie are you participating in for the sake of community currently?
Basically, just accepting the Apostles' Creed or whatever you want, Christianity, whatever local religion you prefer.
See, this is the problem. And I'm sorry, Brady. I'm going to stop talking and let you finish. But this is the problem. When you don't give a shit about what's true, then you're just like, oh, we'll go with Jesus or whatever you want. Beliefs have consequences, and so do the justifications for beliefs, which is why I give a shit about truth. And there's no fucking way in hell I would do what you're doing.
I understand that you wouldn't do it.
I don't care if you understand. I'm done talking to you. You can talk to Brady now.
Okay.
So you're participating in a lie for the sake of community, and the lie that you're participating in is basically Christianity, is what you said, correct?
Correct.
Do you care that the lie that you're participating in seems to be causing a great deal of harm to many people in the country that you live in?
I care very much.
Okay. So then, as you list your priorities, community's up top, truth is somewhere, I don't know, down here. Where does harming others fall in your list of priorities?
I believe that harm is horrible.
Would you? So hold on. Let's stick to what you're lining up here. Would you join a community for the sake of community that practices lies and harms others?
That's a good question. I would not.
But it seems like you have.
I would if I'm not talking about any form of Christianity that's fundamentalist, that is abusive.
I didn't hear anything you just said. I'm not sure if it's just me.
There's a tech issue.
I lost all your words. If you could repeat yourself.
I am talking about Christianity that focuses entirely on love and not causing harm and figuring out
That's
ways
not
to
Christianity.
harm.
Maybe it's on my end. If you can hear him, Matt, I can't hear him.
He said he was only focused on love.
Yes.
I may. Yeah, there's a storm in my area. I may be glitching and
It's not you, Brady. It's everyone.
Okay.
It's coming in on my end.
Hello?
Gotcha.
Hello?
I hear him now.
I'm trying to go. You hear me?
I do now.
Good. Okay. I'm saying that it can be. I'm saying you guys are probably used to dealing with fundamentalists that believe in the infallibility of the Bible and such.
No, sir.
And
Cole, we're not
yeah.
talking to one of those fundamentalists who believe in the infallibility of the Bible. We're talking to someone who doesn't give a shit about what's true and tries to avoid responsibility for it by saying they only focus on love, claim they're a theist, and then when asked if they're a theist, say they're not sure, claim that they are advocating for Christianity when they said they were only talking about love. And then when they get backed into a corner, they respond by trying to not only say, oh, you misunderstood, or now it's you guys are used to dealing with this. I've done this for 20 fucking years, Cole. I'm completely used to dealing with everything from fundamentalist Christianity to liberal Christians to batshit crazy bong rip theology woo stuff. Instead of trying to keep putting the onus on us to fail to understand you, do fucking better because you're getting on my last nerve.
I apologize greatly.
Poorly, but I'll take it.
Just, yeah, I'm doing a shit job. Of course. But I'm trying to speak from that more liberal or moderate or whatever you want to call it form of Christianity that does.
See, this is the problem, Cole, because there's no reason for you to be speaking from any particular version of anything other than what you believe is true and good, because that's all we care about.
I believe that it's true and good to get together every week and talk about being good people.
What if I don't want to get together with other people? Does that mean I'm not a good person?
Not at all.
Then what? Then how is it the case? See, this is what happens when you don't care about truth, because you just said you believe it's true that we should do that. And then what are the consequences to me if it doesn't make me not a good person? What are the consequences to me that I should attend a service every week if I don't?
I did not use the word should. I said good.
Okay. Is it bad if I don't participate in that service every week?
I think it's what people need. If you don't need it, then don't go.
Cole, you are dishonest as fuck. Dishonest as fuck. And stop talking. Listen very carefully. You care about truth when it's convenient. And when you're asked to demonstrate it, you fucking avoid it. You think it's true that it is good to go to services every week. And when I ask, is it bad to not do it? You avoid it. And then I ask, am I not good if I don't go? You avoid it. This is your last chance, Cole.
No.
This is your last chance, Cole. If I never go to service, if I never go to services with other people every week, what does that say about whether or not I'm a good person doing good things or a bad person doing bad things or somewhere in between? How can you determine that based on whether or not I attend services every week?
I don't think it says anything about being good or bad.
Cool. Then why on earth do you think that it is true that it is good to go to services if you can't demonstrate that there's a problem with not going to services?
There are some who benefit from it and some who do not.
So now we're back to the bullshit from the other caller where you think you're above religion and you think I'm above religion, but those other little peons, they need to go to services to keep them in line. That is the most condescending bullshit I've ever heard. And for it to come from someone who doesn't care about truth makes it even more offensive.
Okay.
One last question for you, Cole. If you can have a gathering with people, a community based on truth, or a gathering with people, a community based on lies, which would you prefer?
Oh my God, I love truth.
We couldn't understand anything. There's a technical glitch. So just answer that again, please.
I would love a community based on truth.
Cool. You know, there are communities based on truth, right?
I have seeked them out and I do not see them.
Okay. You never hung out with skeptics, with secular humanists?
Yes, I have.
Maybe the problem is that you are sufficiently unfamiliar with truth that you don't see the value of it and recognize it when it's right in front of your face.
I think it's very beneficial if the skeptic community had more community, but they do not.
Hey, Cole, does the skeptic community get more community by people who genuinely give a shit about the truth, engaging with them? Or does the skeptic community get more community? Does that community get bigger by people like you deciding they don't give a shit about truth and the community's not big enough, so they're going to hang out with liars that are harming the world? Which of those improves the size of the skeptic community?
The former.
Yes, you're part of the problem. You are like one of many of the people who say, oh, there's not a big enough community, so I'm not going to participate. This is one of the problems for years. Why is the atheist community just a bunch of bearded white dudes? Because
that's a great
people
question.
stop talking. Because people like Brady had to be brave enough to come hang out with the rest of us in order for other people who are of different ethnicities, and people like Mandisa had to come, and there had to be women who showed up in order to make other people feel comfortable. I'm sorry that nobody's made you feel comfortable. Maybe if you stopped suggesting that the truth isn't as important as community, while you shit on the very community that offers both, things would get better. Work on that.
Well said.
Can you give me advice?
Nope. I'm moving on.
Hey there, everyone. We want you to check out our live shows 6 days a week, 6 shows a week, 5 days a week, 6 shows. And also there are other channels coming. And this part is meaningless, but you could support this channel by watching the live shows, by checking out another episode. Tell the algorithm you want to stay here. You're not going to go off to some video of some super rich guy committing war crimes. You're going to stick around here and maybe you'll leave a comment, or what else could they do, Eve?
They could head over to patreon.com/calltheline, right? Am I looking?
That's another thing, and they can
right and
they could subscribe. No, you got it right. I got it wrong the first time.
And they could also comment. Yeah.